Today's topic, um, you know, I mean, today's topic is about, LeBron James. Now, I view LeBron James sometimes differently than other people. Like I don't, I don't like what he stands. I don't know. I don't like the way he. I don't like what he stands for. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think he speaks on the wrong things and have no, like, he has no idea what he's talking about half of the time. And I think it puts more pressure on him. Not even pressure. And I'm not talking about that championship pressure. I just think pressure in a different way, because he already won championships. So there's really nothing, he can tack on unless, he wants to, tie Michael Jordan or surpass Michael Jordan. That's the only championships he wants right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could care less about the blocks and the assists and the, points, whatever have you. But the pressure of him going out there and speaking about nothing he knows little about, it's embarrassing. I can see why the NFL put leashes on their players. You know, like, you would not, like, this is the NFL. You will not disrespect us like that. We gave you food, we gave you shelter. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NFL is kind of like those strict parents. Like, they'll let you, play along, but as soon as you go far, they'll yank you back. You know what I'm saying? But the NBA is more of a carefree. The NBA is more of those. Like the NFL, the NBA is more of those happy-go-lucky moms, like one of those, soccer moms. Like, all right, Billy, like, they'll let you do whatever you want because they have no authority over you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the NBA has any right to talk about politics. That's why I say politics and sports don't mix, and they'll never mix. This is why Michael Jordan didn't talk about the topics that people dared him to talk about. Like, oh my God, like, how come Michael Jordan won't such and such, or talk about this and talk about that. As an Aquarius, because me and him are both Aquarius, he was smart not to open his mouth, because either way you're gonna get subjective. It's either you're gonna get beaten down for the things that you can't do, or you're gonna be beaten down for the things that you stand for, or you're gonna get beaten down by the things that you discuss about. You know what I'm saying? Like Draymond Green, LeBron, like all of them, like, they have no right to talk about politics. That's why politics should stay on politics and sports should stay on sports. You know? Like, you didn't have players back in the 90s, 80s talking about civil rights movement. Like, leave that to the politics, leave that to the experts. Because they cover that stuff nearly almost every day. Y'all don't. Y'all just show up, dribble, play, and then go home with a paycheck. That's all y'all do. So y'all have no right to talk about social injustice and stuff like that, because y'all making y'all stuff sound more stupid and dumb by the minute. With him, this whole trouble with him in China and stuff like that, and what I'm saying, like, he linked a tweet that, like, he should have never linked, but it is what it is. That's why I say, that's why when that girl told him, that's why when that reporter told him to shut up and dribble, everybody took offense to that. Even LeBron James took offense to that. And looking back at it, she was right, because LeBron James don't know what he's talking about half of the time. He he like, so I think sometimes LeBron James thinks he's smart, but he's not smart. Basketball wise, he's still not smart to me, basketball wise. because I don't even know what he is. People list him as a small forward. People list him as a power forward. Like he can nearly play every position. Like he's positionless. Like he has no position. Like people question him. People put him in a power forward position, but he could play. He could play the one. He could play the two. He could play the three. He could play the four. He could play the five. I remember every single time I always playing 2K, I always put LeBron James at the five because I know he's gonna average at least 20 rebounds or 13 or 15 rebounds. So we don't know what he is. We know what Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan's a small guard, right? I mean, yeah, you could play a small forward if you wanted to, but he knows his position. LeBron James is positionless. We don't know what LeBron James is. People question, his height too. Not height, but people question his endurance. Like how long he's been doing this. Like even Kobe Bryant didn't even last this long. Even Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan played around the mid 2000s, but after that, he only played because of he wanted ownership. He wanted ownership from the Bobcats. That's the only way he would, play or gain that success was to play for the Wizards. And obviously, he dropped 44% or 45%. He averaged 20 plus per games. Like if you look at LeBron, if you look at Michael Jordan's stats over the years, he's never averaged 40 points in his entire career. It's always been 20s, 30s, 31, 37. Like he's never averaged 40 points. Like, yeah, he dropped 50 on my Knicks, but that was like one of those rare occasions. Like sometimes I think stats sometimes misunderstands or misleds people sometimes. Like it's just crazy. You would think that Michael Jordan, he's a scorer, but if you look at his statistics, he only averaged 30 points per game. His last stance with the Wizards, he averaged 20 plus points per game. He only shot 45%, which is pretty good for a guy who was nearly half done, you know? But I just think that athletes should never talk about politics. It's just stupid. It's not their place. It's not their genre. If LeBron James wanted to be a damn media expert, he should have went to college for what's that thing? What's that thing called when you go to college? What you study for? Journalist. He should have been a journalist if he wants to butt heads with politics. Because he's just trying to be this wokey woke Negro, which is not helping. It's not helping or helping his brand at all. But he don't necessarily care because he's getting money at the end of the day. So I just think that politics and sports should never mix. Whatever happens on the outside, leave it on the outside. We don't want a whole bunch of, news pundits talking about, LeBron James is offensive to this, or LeBron James don't know what he's talking about, this and that. So, like I said, there's a reason why Michael Jordan never spoke upon that stuff. I'm not saying that it wasn't happening in the 80s and 90s and 70s, but people just wasn't interested, Players wasn't interested in talking about it. But now, fast forward to the 21st century, you have guys like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. You look at these landscapes, it's embarrassing, But I know freedom of speech is their right to talk, but when you mix politics and sports, man, it's just not a good idea, Now you see a lot of NFL players are coming forward, which is, again, is just, I don't know, man. I don't know. So tell me what you think. Do you think politics and sports mix or not? Should the players just leave it alone to the experts that have been covering this since they were like 17, 18, 19, 20 years old? Or should more athletes come forward and just speak their mind? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.